I spoke to Temi Ibirogba. She's with the Africa program at the Center for International Policy here in Washington, D.C.
The first summit happened, or forum happened, last September in 2018 in Beijing. And what's happening today is the coordinators meeting. And the end goal of that is to really accelerate the implementation of the action items that came out of last year's forum.
How much has changed, or how much progress has there been since last year's gathering?
So in terms of formulating what the next steps are, there's been a lot in terms of security. The 2019 to 2021 action plan on the agenda that focused on the pillars such as security, such as trade, such as development. So in terms of security, China has sent loads of peacekeepers into Africa, into Darfur, into Mali. In terms of trade, China has been helping African nations figure out how they're going to better regulate their customs and taxation systems. And then in terms of development, China has been helping African nations with achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as the African Union Agenda 2063.
So which African countries, Temi, have the most to gain from China's engagement?
I think all of the countries have a lot to gain. A specific country that already has a really good relationship is Zambia. They have a lot of debt from China, but they've also seen a really huge increase in their direct bilateral trade relations.
Well, let me get to the debt issue, because China has actually faced a lot of criticism for its business ties, investments in Africa, for creating what many critics are calling a debt trap for these African nations. Of course, China denies it. What is the sentiment, in your sense, within Africa, the local population? How do they see China's engagement?
Yeah, so top U.S. officials such as John Bolton, who's the National Security Advisor, has said that China's actions are predatory in Africa, but I completely disagree with that, and I think Africans on the ground also disagree with that. If you go to Senegal, the traders there are happy that the Chinese traders that are amongst them know how to speak the mother tongue, their native tongue, and things like that. And to put it the way one Senegalese trader said it, he's never met an American who knows how to do that. So overall, if you're comparing the way that America is behaving to the way China is behaving, the Chinese president has made many efforts to create and build relationships with African nations, with African leaders. And if you compare that to what the U.S. has done, it's not on the same level. Last week, there was a U.S.-Africa business summit in Mozambique, and not a single cabinet-level U.S. official was there. But at last year's summit, or last year's forum, the president of China was there, as well as his top ministers.
Certainly, Africa appears to be a priority for China. Is it much of a priority for the United States?
The priority, or the way that America has prioritized Africa, seems to be as a direct reaction to China's actions. So Bolton said that China has sort of been stepping on the U.S.'s toes when it comes to U.S. military engagement on the continent, when it comes to U.S. foreign direct investment, U.S. companies investing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
What about the upcoming China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo? What are the expectations here? What will you be looking for?
Yeah, so that's under the umbrella of the overall forum, and it's just really meant to look at ways where economic and trade can be developed more, develop new mechanisms and things like that, and that's pretty much the focus of it.
All right, we'll leave it there. Temi Ibirogba, thank you so much.
Thank you.